Mary? Johnny told me you were resting.
I couldn't close my eyes.
Well, maybe you should, just for a couple of minutes. Do you want me to get Maeve?
No, dear. Let Mother and Dad take care of things downstairs. And please don't start nagging me. I'd sleep if I could. When I lie down, I think too much.
See, I know. You go over and over the accident in your mind. Why it happened, how badly Jack was hurt. See, nobody's told you that he's gonna die. And yet you feel alone, right? You know what you should do?
What?
Forget about going to bed. And you'll fall asleep when you can't stay awake anymore. You know, your mind will get so tired that it won't trick you. How's that?
You're the first person who hasn't insisted that I try to take it easy.
You see, I remember when Frank almost died. You know, it's crazy how you're more scared of losing your husband than you are of dying yourself. Mary, I wanted to go to that hospital to see you. I really did.
You couldn't leave little John.
Yeah, but I felt so awful for you. I felt so sorry for Jack.
Thank you, Dee.
I just wanted to tell you, I really liked him all along. And I've always thought he was so right for you. And I'm glad you went ahead and married him. I really am.
Well, we need more time.
You're gonna have time. You're gonna have years and years because Jack is gonna be just fine.
I did get him to open his eyes for a second this afternoon.
See, that's wonderful. What did Dr. McLean say? Because Johnny didn't say anything about what happened up here.
Well, basically, Alex was reassuring. He says that Jack's condition is stable, but there are so many secondary problems, you know, pneumonia, infection. They're worried about his heart and his back, plus a head injury. And he's going to be in such terrible pain.
But the doctor thinks he might make it, right?
Probably.
Well, that sounds like good news to me.
Well, somehow or other, it didn't sound all that good coming from Alex. I keep thinking he knows more than he's telling me.
See, that's just like when Frank was in the hospital. Dr. Bolak would walk out of the room, Clem Moultrie, and I would think they've got some awful secret they're not telling me. It must be so bad they just don't want me to know about it. But that wasn't true, was it?
No, it wasn't.
Mary, you don't mind my hanging around, do you?
No, of course not, Dee. In fact, you're being a big help.
I feel like this is the first real talk we've had in a long time. It's friendly. It's nice to know that you trust me a little bit.
Yeah, it is nice.
Mary, I got a great idea. Why don't you go downstairs and watch some TV?
No, Dee. I just want to know how Jack's doing. I gotta go back to the hospital.
No, that's not going to do any good. You're going to sit and you're going to worry.
I'm gonna do that anyway. At least over there, I'll be closer to him.
Look, let me get
Okay. Oh, sister.
Oh, Mary.
This week.
Why do you let your child go?
Oh my God, Bo.
Just when there's no hope left.
Matthew?
And
What did you do to my mom? Help, my fiance's hurt!
a bully goes too far.
But she's gonna be okay, right?
Watch One Life to Live, weekdays on ABC and weeknights at 9 on SoapNet.
coming and who's going, SoapNet has the status update on your favorite stars. On General Hospital, Bruce Whites is back as gangster Anthony Zaccara.
It's some turn of events.
On The Young and the Restless, Emily O'Brien is saying goodbye to Genoa City.
Another time?
Daytime favorite Tamara Braun is Taylor on Days of Our Lives.
Okay, I'll drink to that.
And on One Life to Live, Roger Howarth is back in Landview.
I have to be with my family.
Keep up with the latest status updates on SoapNet.
You know how it is. You look in the mirror one day and you go, how am I going to lose this weight? eDiet's meal delivery from eDiets.com. It's the easiest, smartest, most delicious way to eat great and finally lose the weight. I know you're thinking, eat great and lose weight? Really? Really.
You'll love the food. There's no MSG, no fake sugars.
The food tastes fantastic. It's awesome. Very delicious.
It tastes wonderful.
Call now or go to ediets.com. Choose from over 100 fresh prepared meals, not dehydrated diet food, but really delicious food. eDiets will deliver your favorite meals and snacks in a chill fresh container.
All you have to do is relax, enjoy, and eat great, all the way to slim.
I lost 115 pounds.
65 pounds.
25 pounds.
94 pounds.
Along the way, eDiets.com gives you real support.
Terrific online tools, access to registered dietitians and trainers, and friends who care about your success.
They're there with you to hold your hand, and they really care. Truthfully, I like everything about eDiets.
I've lost 30 pounds. All of a sudden, I find myself a changed person.
Hey, I made it to 50 pounds, and look at me now, I'm 60 pounds.
Millions of people have turned eDiets.com to lose the weight. Now it's your turn.
Call or go to ediets.com and sign up for 7 full days of meals, 3 meals per day, fresh prepared just for you, plus snacks. So don't wait. Join eDiets. Eat great food and lose weight fast.
I believe that eDiets can change people's lives.
My husband will often say, "You're the hot wife." That's just boosted my confidence a lot.
eDiets has changed my life forever.
Call to find out how you can get 1 week of meals absolutely free. That's right. 1 week of fresh prepared food, 1 week of weight loss, 1 week of success, free.
Free? What are you waiting for? Call or go online to get started now.
Call 1-800-279-1604 or visit ediets.com now.
Holy smokes, Jill. I was afraid I'd find you here.
Afraid? You trying to avoid me?
Dad just finished telling me that you fainted over at Ryan's today. Now, that sounds to me like you ought to be home in bed.
I am fine. Now, it was very sweet of Johnny to take me to emergency, but it wasn't necessary.
Well, you were unconscious. Now, that sounds pretty serious.
Frank, look, I had a dizzy spell. You know, the kind people get from skipping meals. Nothing to get excited about.
That's not how he told it to me.
All right. Go ask Faith if you want to. I mean, she checked my heart, looked into my eyes, took several lab tests. And you know the one thing she came up with? My blood pressure's low.
Well, what's that? Could she tell why?
Frank, will you please stop worrying? Come on. You know, as much as I love you to make a fuss over me, I just can't pretend that I'm sick. I feel too good.
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm sure.
Okay. Just sit down and tell me how it happened, though, if you don't mind.
Okay, the room started to spin around, and then I blacked out.
Couldn't have been something that Delia said to you, could it?
Well, she wasn't any worse than she usually is. But she did start me thinking very seriously about that whole custody issue.
Oh, don't tell me. Another one of her "you will not take my baby" scenes? Oh, I'm sorry I had to go through that.
Frank, she is very convincing when it comes to her rights as a mother. So much so that I went to the law library this morning. I have been researching your rights as a father for the last few hours.
Look, I don't care what you say. I can't believe that you're in any condition to stay up late working on my custody problems. Now, please, just close all these books and let me take you home, okay?
No, come on. I really want to finish reading those articles. I really do. And Frank, listen to me. This isn't your problem anymore. It's our problem. We're in this together. As Dee pointed out so effectively. I'll tell you one thing. I'm just not encouraged by anything that I've researched or read so far.
Well, I'm aware there's going to be an uphill battle, but...
that's putting it mildly. I mean, the law is nowhere near as favorable as I believed it was.
But, honey, there is a fair amount of leeway, isn't there? I mean, especially when the mother is too emotionally unstable to care for her child.
Frank, you and I know Dee is unstable. You think a court's going to buy that? Come on, I mean, Dee comes across perfectly rational when she tries to.
You sound like the echo of Dee's lawyer.
Well, rumor has it Ann Burney is a good lawyer and a great fighter. And she's going to fight hard for Dee.
Well, so what? We're not the worst lawyers in the world either, right? So if we need experts, we'll find the best. Don't worry. Little John is going to live with us. You can believe that.
Oh, I want to.
You've got to. Da used to say to us, you will win when you make up your mind there is no alternative.
All right. All right. You and I and little John are going to be a family, and that's just the way it has to be.
Now you're talking. Oh, that's my woman. Oh, I have so many plans for little John. I want him to learn things that he can't learn in school. Things like how to listen to people, how to take a stand on an issue, and how to decide on what really is important in life. But most of all, I want him to feel absolutely confident that he is beloved.
Oh, yes.
There is no alternative to that.
All right. You get custody of little John, and then we get married, and we have a wonderfully happy home, and we
Live happily ever after. That's it. We will. I promise you.
Excuse me.
Hello.
Hi. I'm afraid I overheard part of your conversation.
Well, that's all right, Seneca. I'm sure you didn't mean to eavesdrop.
No. But since I did hear, I really have to ask you a question. I mean, if you care about her, if you love her, how can you lead her on that way? You can't keep those rosy promises, and you know it.
Oh, I'm so glad you're here.
Well, I left the retreat house just as fast as I could. I've been to the hospital, and they let me sit with Jack for a few minutes.
Oh, how is he?
Terribly still. The nurse says his condition hasn't changed, but I wish I could have found a doctor to talk to.
Oh, you remember my sister-in-law?
Oh, did you? Yes, of course.
Yes, sister.
Mary, how much danger is Jack in?
Well, much less than last night.
But his condition is still listed as critical.
Yes, but Dr. McLean seems to feel that his heart and lungs are holding up, and all his vital signs are stable enough for us to leave him a while. Poor Alex had to get some sleep. He'd been on his feet for 24 hours.
Alex?
Alex McLean, Jack's surgeon. And by a wild coincidence, an old friend. They were buddies in Vietnam.
Oh, the Lord moves in strange ways.
If only the Lord had kept Jack from driving through that storm. If only he'd kept my mouth shut.
What do you mean?
Well, I talked Jack into rushing home from Washington. He'd have stayed another night and flown in today if I hadn't pushed it. As it was, he started out exhausted. He'd probably had a couple...
I don't want to hear any more of that. You are not responsible for the accident. And if you waste your energy on guilt, you'll have very little left for Jack.
I want to go back to the hospital. Will you come with me?
That's why I'm here.
Great. Let me get dressed.
Oh, God bless her.
Mary's a wonderful girl. You know, you're so close to Jack. It's kind of like your own son was hurt.
We have had a special relationship ever since the day Jack arrived at the orphanage. He was only 2, and I still believed that I could love all our homeless children equally. We were both babies.
It's so beautiful. It's like you were his second mother.
Well, it wasn't supposed to happen. My vows, my life's work put certain restrictions on me. Practically speaking, I shouldn't be able to devote myself to just any one child.
With the exception of Jack, I guess.
Yes, yes. An exception. And a mistake, I suppose. It has been very hard for both of us. But when I had to leave Jack because I was assigned to another orphanage, he was devastated. He lost his mother all over again, even though I did keep in touch. And in recent years, well, more of the pain has been on my side. I've watched him grow into a solitary man. He wouldn't give, he wouldn't take. There was no way I could help him. Then he found Mary.
She's very good for him, isn't she?
I can't imagine anybody being better. Oh, Jack has so much to live for. I can only trust he'll be spared.
All set. Dee, would you tell Mother and I that we're at the hospital?
Sure. Nice talking with you.
Yes.
See you later.
Take care. Oh, sister. I'm so scared.
So am I.
I prayed to God all day long when I ever feel like he's listening.
Oh, Mary. If there is one voice he hears, I'm sure it'll be yours.
This week.
Why do you let your child go?
Oh, my God, Bo.
Just when there's no hope left.
Matthew?
And
What did you do to my mom? Help! My fiance's hurt!
a bully goes too far.
But she's gonna be okay, right?
Watch One Life to Live, weekdays on ABC and weeknights at 9 on SoapNet.
This week on All New Views, the hot cast from Hot in Cleveland, Valerie Bertinelli, Jay Leaves, and Wendy Malick. Also, funny man Chris Rock's new gig that we can't mention on TV.
In a world full of heartache and confusion, what's so wrong with that?
This week on All New Views on ABC.
I am a non-attorney spokesperson. Were you or a loved one diagnosed with lung cancer? If so, we urge you to call the number on your screen now for a free legal consultation. Some lung cancers, along with the other cancers listed on your screen, may be linked to asbestos exposure. Exposure to asbestos in mills, factories, or while working as a plumber, electrician, plasterer, maintenance worker, or janitor may have put you at risk. In addition, because asbestos was widely used on ships, those working in shipyards, including Navy veterans, may have also been exposed. Asbestos has been used in many commercial applications, including insulation, fireproof fabrics, automotive parts, building materials, and small kitchen appliances. If you or a loved one was diagnosed with lung cancer or another asbestos-related cancer, call now for a free legal consultation. You may be entitled to compensation. Call 1-800-849-6478. Again, that's 1-800-849-6478.
Taylor accuses Rafe of murder.
What is going on?
And left without backup.
He'll get no support from the Salem PD.
How far will he go to clear his name?
You give me straight answers or you get this.
Watch Days of Our Lives weeknights at 6 and 11 on SoapNet.
Seneca, I'd like to know where you get off commenting on a private conversation.
Jill is my friend, and I'd like very much to see her happy for a change.
Seneca, please.
I'd appreciate it if you'd leave Jill's happiness to me.
Why would I? For 4 years, all you've done is make her miserable.
Oh, now wait a minute, both of you. Now, if you insist on coming into my office and taking over for this nonsense, I'm not staying till...
Jill, please, stay.
I'm sorry.
I won't say anything.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, too, Jill. I've had enough trouble for one day.
Yeah, I certainly have. Seneca, what trouble are you talking about?
Well, your fainting spell, Clem told me.
Boy, it's really become a celebrated event, hasn't it?
How are you feeling now?
Well, I was dandy until the two of you started in on each other.
Well, actually, I came by to see if I could persuade you to take that physical you missed last week.
Oh, believe me, I have had a thorough going over. Faith made sure that I got the works.
Well, I'd better be on my way. Please, don't stay up too late, okay?
I won't, I promise.
I'll call you down.
Okay.
Good night.
Good night, Frank. Thought he was going to escort me to the door.
Looks like I get that pleasure.
Hey, have you had dinner?
Enough that I could tolerate. Thank you for dropping by.
Now, what you need, see, is a big steak and a good salad.
Oh, no, no, no. What I need is another half-hour work and 10 good hours sleep.
But rare meat builds up the blood. At least that's what my mother used to say.
My mother used to say, quit while you're ahead. That's what she used to say. Good night, Seneca.
Good night.
I'd like a word with you, if you don't mind.
Yeah, sure.
I want you to stop running after Jill. As a matter of fact, I want you to stay away from her altogether. Do you understand?
Hey, look, I take no pleasure from this competition. If I thought Jill could find a lifetime of happiness as Mrs. Frank Ryan, I'd back off.
Seneca, let me assure you that you will become Mrs. Frank Ryan the moment my divorce is final.
Your divorce may never be final.
You may have a surprise about that.
You're kidding yourself. You know that? And Jill. As I understand it, Delia's determined to lock horns with you in court. Now, that means you're going to be in limbo for a year, maybe more.
Yes, but Jill is prepared to wait.
Yeah, and that puts her right back where she was 4 years ago, tied to a man who won't marry her, who can't marry her.
All right, obviously you don't understand. Let me straighten you out about a few things. I have left Delia. I am totally committed to Jill. It's all out in the open now. The major decisions have been made. All that remain are the legal complications, which I am thoroughly qualified to deal with. None of us are back where we were 4 years ago.
The same basic roadblocks are still in your way. A wife, a child, and a Catholic conscience, which has got to be troubling you right now.
Seneca, I will never be in the mood to discuss my conscience with you. Let's leave it at this, okay? Jill and I love each other, and we are determined to be together. So the friendliest thing you can do is just to leave her alone.
Well, I just may do that. If and when Jill tells me to.
Next, spend some time in Genoa City with the Young and the Restless. Later, see who's stirring up trouble in Pine Valley on All My Children, only on SoapNet. This summer, the party's on SoapNet.
We have a party to rock.
You will never take over my life.
Nothing is going to change how I feel about you. That love can't die, baby.
Oh, it is so on.
What? Shut up! And you won't believe who's coming.
You're back.
This is one summer shindig you don't want to miss.
I am ready to have the summer of my life.
Only on SoapNet.
Down. Okay, guys, what sounds good for dinner tonight?
I don't know, something.
Something. Mexican.
Thinking Mexican tonight? Hamburger Helper has 5 festive flavors like Crunchy Taco. Hamburger Helper, 1 pound, 1 pan, 1 happy family.
Does your shampoo leave residue everywhere? New Pure Clean from Garnier Fructis. 92% biodegradable formula with no dulling residues, no heavy silicones, nothing to weigh you down. It's pure health, pure shine. New Fructis Pure Clean.
Good news, men use soap. Bad news, men use soap that can really dry their skin. And some have been doing so for over 20 years. So if you think about it, soap has been drying men's skin since breakdancing became totally rad and MacGyver was saving the world with tweezers. And that, friends, is a long time. Fear not, Dove Men Plus Care is here. It's the bar with 1/4 moisturizing cream, so it cleans and leaves skin feeling moisturized. How very 2011. Dove Men Plus Care.
We asked Bradford Anderson to name all the Spinelli nicknames he could remember. Go.
Stone Cold Mr. Serpacino-esque one, Maximista, Blonde one, Original Blonde one, Prince Pectoral, Big Daddy Stone Cold, the Goddess, the Divine one, Bad Blonde one, the Demented one, the Valkyrie, the Brusque Lady of Justice. I could be here for literally 3 days, probably.
See who Spinelli will nickname next on General Hospital. Weekdays on ABC and weeknights at 10 on SoapNet.
They've come from all walks of life.
We're football players.
Moms.
Cops from Massachusetts.
NYC.
Mississippi. We're from Colorado, and I don't see so good. Or I should say, not at all.
To the edge of civilization.
We're in the Sahara Desert. There's sand everywhere, yo.
Oh my God, look at this. It's insane.
Starting Thursday, June 23rd.
We're gonna dominate this competition.
13 teams will attempt the impossible.
Guys, I'm not looking down. Hold on, my arm.
That's it right there.
From Mark Burnett, executive producer of Survivor.
I don't know how to ride this thing. Nobody does. You think we ever rode a camel before?
Pretty awesome.
It's pretty nasty.
It'd be humiliating to lose to a blind guy.
It's the most epic competition ever.
This is definitely the hardest thing I've ever done in my life.
Let's do this.
You gonna argue about it?
This is crazy.
All it takes is everything they've got. ABC's Expedition Impossible premieres Thursday, June 23rd on ABC.
found Mrs. Finelli?
Yes. Has there been any change?
Not since you left. But we're moving him to neurology.
Isn't that a good sign?
The fact is, they have a room for him on 6, and we need this room for another surgical patient.
I kind of forgotten that there are other patients in worse shape than he is.
You know, he'll get excellent care up there.
I'm sure he will. Talk to him a little. May we stay a few minutes? Sure. Thank you.
Jack? Jack, it's Joe. I'm here, and I'm going to stay with you. I love you very much. Remember how I used to tell you that when I tucked you in at night?
I hope he can hear you.
From the top of your head to the tips of your toes, I love you. That's the way he liked me to say it. From the top of your head to the tips of your toes, I love you. That won't change just because I have to go away.
Mama?
I don't want to leave, but I have no choice. Oh, don't cry, Jack. I'll come back to see you. Goodbye, dear. Goodbye.
I love you, but I don't know if I can marry you. Well, of course I want to be with you. But for the rest of our lives, I'm not sure.
Mary, please.
I wish you wouldn't get so upset when I mention the word annulment. I do have grounds for dissolving our marriage, but it's absurd to think I'd ever do it.
You promised to stay with me. We took vows in church.
But you won't let me have babies, so I could leave you. Oh, come on, Jack. You don't have to cry like that.
I'm not leaving you. Not really.
I could leave you.
Don't go away, Joe. I'll do anything if you stay. I'll go to Mass every day. I'll be so good. Mary, I'll try to change. I'll work hard to make you happy if you'll please stay with me. Mary! 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 Mary?
Yes, honey, I'm here. Sister Mary Jo is here, too. We both love you, honey. Jack, please don't go away again.
He's unconscious again.
But he knew me. He talked to me. Oh, Joe, it's wonderful. It has to mean that he's going to get better. It just has to.
In Landview, rules were meant to be broken, and its residents will stop at nothing to get their way. Catch all the Landview shenanigans on an all-new episode of One Life to Live, weeknights at 9 on SoapNet.